Welcome back to Triple Down Gaming, everyone. Tonight we are on to part 6 of our series of our craps tutorial. In this part, we will be going through the combat. Now, for those that are just joining us, I encourage you to go through all the different parts before this as we cover the pass line, don't pass line, as well as the odds with those two bets. Covered the field, the number bets here, including the place, buy, and lay bets. We went through all of the proposition bets as well. And in this series, we're going to be, I should say this part, we're going to be going through the combat. Now, the combat works very similar to the pass line and the don't pass. And one of the secrets here that most casinos, again, it's kind of hidden, as I will say, is again the come and the don't come. They are essentially mirrors of the pass line and don't pass. And the unique situation with this is these can be placed essentially as mirrors of the pass and don't pass, but can be placed while the game is already in session. So to kind of illustrate this, we will go through, say, a player had a $10 pass line bet, took their two dice, and rolled. Now in this case, a 12 was rolled, and that would be a loss, unfortunately. But we will put it back out there for the next roll. And a 7 was rolled, the frontline winner. And we'll just keep that as the player's chips right there. And now an 8 was established. 9 was established. 9 as the point, 6 and 3 there. Now, again, essentially, if the player wanted to place a come bet, they could take these chips they actually won on that frontline winner, and they could place them in the come area. Now, for those that already know how the pass line and don't pass work, essentially it is the same thing. Again, you can leave the chips there. Just have to tell the dealer that it is for the come bet and not for a different bet. So in this case, the best way to think about this, again, a 4 was rolled here, is basically establishing a point while the main point is already established. It's kind of like basically a subset of the original game, but just for your bet. So in this case, again, a come bet, and it basically, again, in this case, a 4 was rolled. For this subset, as the best way to see it is the point for that come bet is a 4 because a 4 was rolled on the very next roll. Now, typically, these are going to be held within the number box here. And again, those are typically going to be separated from, say, a buy bet, as they will not have the buy chip on them. And typically, the dealer will track that as well. So in this case, again, you can also place a don't come bet. We will go through another roll here. And if the player wanted to place a don't come bet, they would just place the number there, place their chips there actually, and they will go through another roll. So a 9 was rolled. So essentially, in this case, a 9 would be established as the point for this particular subset game. Now, again, most experienced craps players will implement the combat in some sort of strategy, depending on, again, what other bets are interlaid with that strategy. But essentially, again, in this combat, they want a 4 to be rolled before a 7, and that would win 1-1. And again, in this subset of the don't come, they would want a 7 to be rolled before a 9. Now, again, typically this will be held right there in the don't come area, I should say. The come will go into the original box of the number. Um, and we will go through another roll here. So again, the way to think of it is, okay, this pass line bet, the point was 9. This was a come bet for the point of 4. And this was a don't come bet for the point of 9 as well. And actually, we forgot, but that would have paid the pass line there. And again, these here would still stay there, as again, the bet was not resolved yet. So we will go through another roll here. Now, in this case, a 6 was rolled. Again, this is for a don't come for 9. This was a come bet for the point of 4. And this is a pass line bet for the point of 6. Now, in this case, again, we're just going to resolve this and say, basically, okay, if the next roll was a 7. Now, the way this would play out is, again, this was for a point of 4. That would lose. Now, this was for a point of 9. Again, this 7 was rolled prior to another 9 being rolled. This would pay 1 to 1. And in this case, a 7 was rolled before the point of 6 was rolled again. This would lose. So that's a quick illustration of how, again, the come bet and the don't come bet work. And the other unique thing for the come and don't come is that odds can be placed for the come and don't come bet. So again, say there was, in this case, a point of 9. Player put a come bet out there for $10. You'll go through a roll again. A 5 was rolled. So the point for this come bet would be essentially a 5. And if a player wanted to place come odds, as we will say it, for that come bet of 5, they would essentially put that in the come area and instruct the dealer to say, we want to place odds on the come bet of 5. And the dealer will essentially locate that appropriately. Typically, they will place it on in a similar area with that original come bet. Again, the purpose of that being to not mix up if that player had, say, had a pass line bet, to not mix up, say, the odds for the pass line of 9 with, say, the odds for the come bet of 5. So that is essentially, again, the come bet. Again, odds can be placed as well. For the don't come, it will be very similar to the don't pass odds or laying odds. If there are any questions on the come bet or the don't come bet, feel free to put them in the comments. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And if there are any tutorials or I'll say strategies that you have like to be tested out, feel free to put them in the comments. And we will make sure to put our next series on testing a certain strategy. So without further ado, that is the end for our part on the come and don't come bets. Make sure to come back for our final part where we will go through the C and E bets here in the middle.